Hello, everybody. We're live here on Facebook and live on YouTube tonight, this Saturday night. How's everybody doing tonight? We'll wait for people to come in. My intro did work. That was something that I was worried about, and I guess we got that done. Of course, we have Judy on the line. Hello, Judy.
Hello, John. Hi, everybody. Good to be here.
We want to make sure that you can see me and hear me and Judy before we proceed. That's the normal protocol when we first start out the show. As long as you can hear us, me and Judy, and you can see me in the comment section, there is a little delay, and we go from there. I do have some technical difficulties with monitors being off that I've been trying to work on all week. So the monitor behind me is blacked out. Let me reboot this here. Ready? Okay. 19, 20, 25. All right. As we start the program tonight, our format's going to be towards the end of the month. I'll give my members a update on our Facebook group, The Quest of Oak Island, some stats on how many people are in it, what the stats are as far as response and comments, also a update on everything's going new in the group. And it's good to tell you guys what I see and just to show you what's going on. Then after that, we'll have Judy come on and do her synopsis for this week's, this past Tuesday night show, The Curse of Oak Island. And then I have a bunch of screenshots to show, and we'll discuss each one. The same old, same old. So, and Starlene says, yep, I can hear you and see you. Very, very good, Starlene. I thank you very much. I got to give my first big shout outs to my paid YouTube members, to Tammy, Annette, Elizabeth, Michelle, another Annette, Jazdia, Wayne, Starlene, and Renee, our big grandmaster, and of course, to Judy and Barbara for their continued support of me and this channel. I thank you so much, Judy.
You're very welcome. I love it, John.
Just a side note, this Tuesday they had some nice little findings that were scratching my head, but at least they were finding some little bit of tidbits. You know what I mean, Judy? We'll talk about it later.
Yes, yes.
But they did.
Better than nothing.
Yep, better than nothing. They did find a couple of strange things, you would say, this and that we'll talk about later. But they continued to at least produce something. I mean, I get a lot of negative things that are coming across because people are bored. Well, this is how the show is. You take one piece at a time and try to tie it into other things that matter. If you want gold, right? If you want gold right away and you want something right away, well, they're not going to film Aaron taking a trowel and cleaning off cobblestones for 40 minutes straight. So the ones that know, Judy, we know how the show goes. We know that it's a TV show also. And the others who are complaining, please just turn the dial and be off with it. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right on. And it is the journey. It'll always be the journey.
Yeah. Anything that I have ever seen in the archaeology is it's slow. It's not fast. I mean, you brisk it off with a broom and you take pieces off and you make details of what you found and where you found it. And even before that, you got to get the permits to do what you're doing anyway. So all this takes time. So I give them all the time they want. Like I said, we gave them a break this year. And we'll go and see how they do next year. And John Edwards, where is Stemmer? That's me. Hello, Sadie. Thanks. Agreed. But yeah, we'll get into some of the Facebook Quest group stats. I don't want to bore you, but I think people would like to know some of them stats. Wouldn't you like to know that sort of, Judy, or no, or is that boring?
I enjoy it. Yeah, I like to know.
Okay. As of today, hi, Don Brentz. Thanks for coming in. We'll start right at 7 o'clock on the stats. And right now, we have 71,831 members in the Facebook group, Quest of Oak Island, which is still a fantastic number. Really fantastic, Judy.
It is great, John.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? And it's still fantastic. I remember when I had my first 700 members and I was like overwhelmed.
Look how far you have come.
Oh my God, since August of 2016. Hi, Tom Burns. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Connie. So it's 7 o'clock and we giving these stats of the Facebook, the Quest of Oak Island, my group. Because, Judy, without my Facebook group and members following me and the show, I don't think I could ever have a YouTube channel, Quest. Because, 80% of my members from Facebook, only the 1,370 of them, came over to YouTube because you need a following. You can't put up a video and only have like 2 watchers. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, exactly. I guess we're just stuck on Facebook, John.
Yep. And also the only reason why I did YouTube, this is part of my group that I'll tell you this from Quest, is people would come on, a cast member or a researcher, and saying, John, I cannot share my video with you. I says, well, you can't, because the Quest of Oak Island is a private group. There is no sharing. This is just for me and my private members, all you guys. So the reason why I had to put it on YouTube is for like the cast members and their friends. If they didn't join my group, they could see the guest appearance. You know what I mean, Judy?
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Catherine. So it's so convenient, though, also to put all the videos on YouTube and all in one place. You know how far you would have to search down my Facebook Quest of Oak Island page to find the video? Because everybody's talking. We're very active. You might be searching for weeks, scrolling down. So I'm glad that I put everything on YouTube. So anybody wants to see anything live or upcoming events, you just go to my YouTube channel and then boom, it's all there. You don't have to scroll down. So as far as YouTube, we average about, that'll be quick. YouTube, we average about 800 views per week watching our videos. And our subscriptions are at 1,383. But like I said, people don't like YouTube. They like Facebook more. But I thought I would have at least 10% of the 71,831 members, which would be about 7,000 subscribers. But we only have 1,383. Okay, on the last 28 days on the Facebook Quest group, they only give me stats for the last 28 days. I don't go back any farther, Judy.
No, I don't blame you.
Right. We had 238 posts.
Wow.
That was up 10% from the previous 28 days. We had 7,986 comments, which was down 20%. And we had 52,485 reactions, which was also down 12%.
Wow.
Hi, David Clark. How are you? No problem, Mary. No problem. That's why you got the choice, Facebook or YouTube. The favorite day, of course, of the week is Tuesday night. We got the pre-show plus the show. And, of course, our other night, Judy, is Saturday night at 7 or 8 o'clock is where most of my members are, and that's where we are right now.
Yes.
Now, on the top countries. Hello, Wanda. Thanks for coming in. You got the top countries as United States, 46,240. Canada comes in at almost 11,000. Imagine that, 11,000 from Canada.
Yes.
The United Kingdom, 6,400. Australia, 2,000 people from Australia.
Oh, wow.
Wow. South Africa, 680. Germany, we got 650 members. New Zealand, we have 520 members. The Netherlands, we have 512 members. Hi, Buster. Thanks for coming in. Ireland, 426 members. And guess this, Philippines. In the Philippines, we got 380 people from the Philippines, Judy.
Wow, that's amazing. It really is.
Right, but that's only, that's only the top 10. That's all they give me. I don't know, the places below. That's why every month we put a shout out once a month and everybody says where they're from. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes. And I realize that the number from Canada doesn't seem high, but our population in all of Canada is the same as the population of California.
Right.
So we have a lot fewer people here.
Yep. United States has got what, 300 million, and you got a lot fewer. So 11,000 from Canada. I thank you all. I thank you all from all these top countries and the little people that are only maybe 2 or 3 that it doesn't show. I appreciate each one of you. And they got the top cities there. Halifax, Canada, 462 people from Halifax. We got Australia, Melbourne, Australia, 259. We got Ottawa, Canada, 212. We got Toronto, Canada, 200. We got New York, New York, which they're probably saying is New York City, is 200. We got Edmonton, Canada, 200. And we got Calgary, Canada, at 196. And we got Munson, Canada, at 171. Sydney, Australia is coming in at 169 members. And the last one is Brisbane, Australia, with 165 members. I thank you all. Unbelievable. Hi, Ray Marsh. How you like that, Judy?
I think it's just great, John. And I've talked to people from all over the world, and it's just a joy for me to do that.
Yep, but I think people like knowing where some of the people are. Even though, like I said, we do a shout out once a month, and everybody says, I'm from here, I'm from here, I'm from this state, that state. I only do that because just to show you the diversity of all the members and where they are from all over the world, because Facebook only shows me the top 10. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Tom Burns, they're always 28 days. 28 days. And Tom Burns, can you hear me? For the past 28 days, Tom Burns, Mr. Tom Burns, you have, hi, Vicky, you have the most posts, the most comments, and the most reactions, Mr. Burns. Tom Burns, you have won a Quest of Oak Island membership coffee mug.
Hey, Tom, coffee's good in it, too.
There you go, Tom Burns. PM me privately your address if you wish to have one. It's all free. And we can get it out to you once I get your address and figure out the postage and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I thank you very much for being so active. And Tom, even my cast members know you're active. the people from Oak Island know you're captive with your data. It's just unbelievable. I thank you so much. You're great in my group and probably great in anything else you do in other groups, which I don't go to, but you must be fantastic in what you do because I see it. So never change, Tom. You're fantastic. Thank you.
Right on.
Tom Burns gets the mug. Unbelievable. And don't forget this week, April 3rd, what's it, the day before Easter, we're going to have Aaron Helton on, 7 p.m. next Saturday, as long as all my computer stuff is working. I'm telling Judy every day, this is breaking down. That's breaking down. It's, oh my God, please. I'm only on 2 monitors here. And we do what we got to do. Like I tell you at the end of my show, we go forward no matter what. You know what I mean, Judy?
You just keep it going, John, no matter what happens, even though you get frustrated.
Yep. And also, that ship, Yvonne Miller posted an old ship, like in a museum, that big, huge pirate ship. You remember that, Judy?
Yes.
That got 47,000 views.
Wow.
And it got 6,640 engagements.
Wow.
Wowie, wow, wow.
For sure.
The cake, Tanya's cake, they got 32,500 views.
Jeez. Wow.
The cake even got big action on the cake. And also coming in between 35,000 and 40,000, of course, is Erin Helton's post that she's coming on live with me for the first time ever. So those were the 3 most popular posts for the last 28 days. Ready? I'm going to bring up Judy's picture. Before we take some questions, Matt, hold on. Welcome everybody that's here. Please take a look at my YouTube side. There's a paid membership side. I do have some merchandise coming in to show you guys. I posted some in the group. We'll post some later. I mean, I don't know if you want my face on your ball cap or my face on a shirt, but if you want to support me and have it and be a member till the end here, I would appreciate it. And we'll go into that a little bit more. So right now we're going to do Judy's synopsis. I got to find her picture. Judy, let me see. All right, Judy. Hi, Valerie.
Okay.
We got Judy's picture. We got Judy's picture up on the screen, and Judy, whenever you're ready, they can hear you, see me, and when you're ready, go ahead, Judy. All yours.
Okay. John did ask me if I would give you an update on what's going on at the border between the U.S. and Canada. As of right now, my daughter will be coming over on Wednesday. She's moving home from the United States, and she has to do a test 72 hours before she gets to the border. She already has her shots. If that test is negative, they will let her into Canada. They will give her a kit, and then she has to go from the border to her home here in Canada and stay there for 14 days. On the 10th day, she has to use the kit and do a test. If that is negative, then she is free after that to leave her house. So there's where we stand right now. I don't know if Nova Scotia is the same, but that's what it is in Ontario. So hopefully the fellowship gets in. Okay. All righty, we're going to do the synopsis. And I just want to say happy spring to everyone. We made it through winter, guys. Tuesday night on our podcast, John asked the question, how were the boulders at Nolan's Cross put in place? A great discussion followed with no definitive answers. Sadly, the fellowship did no better getting answers than we did. Both shows are worth watching if you haven't seen them. Now let's see what questions came up on Oak Island. It's a new morning in the swamp, and Rick and Aaron are discussing what definitely looks like a split in the road. Does the road go to the eye of the swamp and the money pit? Let's hope we find out before the season ends. Aaron then finds what looks like the walls of a cellar in the pathway leading out of the swamp. More about this later. In the money pit area, Terry and Charles oversee the drilling of the new hole, CD 2.5. They are hoping to hit signs of a tunnel around 80 feet down, as they have in the 6 previous holes. At 88 feet down, they find lots of wood that looks like stacked cribbing. Could this be an exterior wall of C1? If so, they are close to the money pit. Returning to the swamp, Rick is talking to Ian, Aaron, and Miriam about the cellar feature, which is separate from the stone road. Ian says it is a constructed feature, and what is it? Fall is approaching, so they must find where the pathway goes before then. Does it go to the eye of the swamp? And if so, did or does the eye hold something of value? More questions, guys. Another new day, and in the war room, Marty and Rick and the team are listening to author and researcher James McQuiston report on a new historical find. He has found a connection between the Knights Baronets of Nova Scotia, the Scottish Freemasons, and the Plymouth colony of Massachusetts. Is the treasure connected to all 3 groups? If so, how? This is an important research to continue following. That afternoon, Gary and David, Ian, Aaron, and Miriam are in the eastern area of the swamp investigating the cellar feature. Gary's metal detector goes off, and Aaron digs up what looks like a caster wheel like those found on mining carts. Could these carts have been used in tunnels by depositors? In the money pit area near 10X, the team is sifting the spoils from hole E 5.25. Steve finds what looks like coconut fiber. Is this fiber connected to the treasure shaft? Michael John finds a small cannonball or piece of grape shot. Grape shot was used during the 15th century to sink ships. Marty decides they need to show Gary and Laird. Later that afternoon, in the research center, Doug, Gary, Laird, and Marty discuss the ball found earlier. Gary says it's an old projectile or musket ball used in a gun called a blunderbuss. These guns were used by the Pilgrims, and Gary found many of these balls near battlefields in England. Doug will test it. Later that day, the team is looking for the boundaries of the cellar in the swamp. Marion digs up a piece of earthenware. Who used it, and for what did they use it? Michael John finds a cavity beneath the cellar. It seems to be quite deep. The cellar is near the home of Anthony Graves, who lived on Oak Island, and after moving there in 1857, started using Spanish coins to make purchases. Is this his cellar? And if so, did he hide treasure here? More questions, fellow members. Will they be answered? Stay tuned. See you all next week, and stay safe, please.
I thank you so much for a fantastic synopsis as usual, Judy. This will be posted to the chat later on this evening. I thank you so much, Judy.
Thank you. Thank you, John. I enjoy it.
And we want to say hello to Jazdia, who came in the house. Jake Roberts and Michelle came in the house. Tom Burns added, there's 2 sets of rules for entering Canada. One is for arriving by land, the other is by air. Each province can establish their own self-isolation rules for the people on the Canada side.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Yep. Let me see here. Yep, Annette, you're welcome. But that was great. It was great. We found out a couple of little things this past Tuesday, and I'll bring up some pictures. Still finding that coconut fiber.
Seems to be everywhere, doesn't it?
But you know what I was thinking about these things too, Judy? I mean, they dug a lot around the Money Pit area. They dug a lot around Smith's Cove. Could have passed searchers, like dumped their spoils around the swamp, or, to dump spoils from one area to the other. It was a big mishmash there. So, you know what I mean? If they're finding things at the swamp, did it come from the Money Pit spoils? Did it come from the Smith's Cove spoils when Dan Blankenship originally found the dock area and stuff, whatever you want to call it? Well, you know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, exactly. That certainly could happen for sure.
Hello, Susan Banner on the YouTube side. Thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for joining me and Judy this Saturday night. I want to thank everybody on the Facebook Quest side. I want to thank everybody on the YouTube side. If you're not joined up on the YouTube side, please subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. But no, I lost Matt's question. Hold on here. All right, they're always talking about the age of wood. The dates are not the year it was buried, it's the age of the tree that was cut from, correct? You could find 2 different stakes side by side, and one could be 300 years old, and one could be 400 years old, and could have put out there on the same date. Correct. Correcto mundo.
Yes.
It makes sense, right? It makes sense.
Perfect sense.
For that 100-year difference on them stakes. And makes all the sense in the world to me. Just got to be, 2 different trees. And who knows if they use parts of a ship or their wood or whatever. But like I was saying on our last podcast, that, I know they use one testing service and double check. I would just maybe take 1 or 2 pieces and just send it out to, I don't know, out to Europe or something, and see if they come back with the same range dates. You know what I mean, Julie?
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Even though they double check and triple check at the testing site that Mr. Tester's using now, just for the heck of it, after 8 years, just send one out into the sunset and see what it comes back to be.
Yes, I think that'd be a great idea.
And Connie says, those bits and pieces they find could have been one-time complete, correct? All the digging could have left them broken. Yeah, they had like there was a video out there about not a junk pile, but I guess a junk pile that Fred Nolan showed them, and they dug a trench and they found a lot of pottery. It was not a junk pile. What do I want to call it? Debris field that they dug down a trench, and I forget what season it was on. It's on YouTube. I'll have to find it. Tom Burns, if the road was built and then covered up to hide it, lots of things could have been moved around. That would also mean when they came back to uncover it, they would have to survey it again, needing new stakes. If the road was built and then covered to hide it. So you're saying, Tom, this road was made, or this paveway was made to dig the tunnels, to hide the treasure, and they knew it was a swamp area, so they knew it would be covered with muck because there was no road, obviously, in the front of the swamp, and just left. Makes sense to me if you want to hide something, Judy.
Yes, it sure does. And obviously somebody did.
Hello, M.E. Algon. Thanks for coming in the YouTube side. But that would be a perfect hiding thing. But what the heck would they need such a heavy cobble road, which we all agreed that they had to use sleds. There was no way wheels would be going over them boulders. And I don't know how many oxen broke their legs trying to pull heavy steer and try to steer those sleds over those boulders, Judy. That just boggles my mind.
Yeah, it does me too, John. I don't think I could walk on it.
I know. And imagine a 2,000-pound animal.
Right. I had very little feet. They go right in between the stones.
Yeah. I mean, their feet are big, obviously, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't know. Hi, Gwen from Australia. Thanks for coming in. All right, Judy, I'm going to take your picture off, and we'll start doing some pictures of and screenshots from last Tuesday. So stay with me.
Okay, good.
Because with this computer, I might be losing people here. Okay, here we go. Okay, we'll do the first one here. And I forget, I do pictures in 10. So when you guys see them, I'll be seeing them not for the first time, but I don't know what's going to come up until you see it like I see it. Yes, Scott, it does freeze over. Like I said, we had that other person that Chris knew. They said they did it in the wintertime, but I can't imagine doing this stuff up there in the wintertime. It's brutal up there, you know what I mean, Judy?
It certainly is so. I wouldn't want to be out there in the winter.
Mm-hmm. All righty, here's the grape shot that they showed. Yup, sleds, yup, in the winter. And no, I guess when Gary was saying it, Judy, they said these things were made out of rocks.
Yeah, boy.
So it's not steel. It's not cast iron. So how the heck do they test a rock for age and things like that? I have no idea. I know with coal, I guess you can get mold spores like Dr. Spooner says, but as far as these grape shot, cannonball, rock, pistol firing ammo, I have no idea.
Nor do I.
But you know what I mean, Judy? There it is. So if they can get it tested, obviously they will. Hi, Carlene.
I think they said that Doug was going to do some testing on it himself.
Yep, and Rochelle, if they use oxen to pull the carts and sleds, isn't it odd there have been no skeleton remains of the oxen? Rachel, I mean, we haven't found anything. So that doesn't surprise me. Nothing. Hello, Maureen. Thanks for coming in. Go to the next one. You know, no oxen perished on Oak Island ever. Or they used the bones for something else. Or it's just in a different area. I mean, they got 140 acres there, so who knows? Yep, Tom, I don't know how they would do that in the winter up there. I have no idea. Long ago, I can't stand the winter, and I'm in a house, insulated house here, so I don't know how they do it. But they were tough in those days, real tough. Those people were tough.
They were, John.
Okay, let's go to the next one and see what we got here. Those are the supposed pistols. Is that right, Jude? Pistol, or they call it a pistol? I call it a pistol. I don't know.
Yeah, was it a musket? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what they use to shoot these stone grape shot bullets, ammo. No idea, Connie. No idea. And this is the type of weapon, pistol they used that they showed on the show. Thank you, Jake. Robert said winter oxen shoes were found. Yep. Samuel D. Chaplain recorded oxen first used in 1628. There we go. There we go at those dates. And there's more of the grape shot. The blunderbuss. That's it, Starlene. That's it. Or a flintlock pistol. Right. You got it.
Thanks, guys.
These guys are right on the ball.
They are.
We need them, Judy. We need them.
We do.
There's a little closer one. But these seems like they have an edge. You see that one ball on top, that one rock on top that seems to have an edge around the middle?
Yes, it does.
Well, that comes out of a mole. If you have an edge on something like that, that can't be a rock. This is my only question. That if there's a seam in the middle, that's made with a mold.
Sure looks like it.
A rock wouldn't have an edge in the middle, but then again, I don't know anything about ammo. I don't know anything about guns. I have no idea.
Me either.
Michelle says, I'm not surprised about the cannon grape shot. If there were ships there, they would be not uncommon. You're correct, Michelle. It all ties into the story. It all ties in. And here they are digging on the side. But when I took this screenshot, guys, there's those 1630 dates again. Yup, Tom. Unbelievable. Now, when I took this shot, Judy, can you see this shot I got up there? That screenshot of
Yes, yeah, just come up.
Yep, Aaron and Marion and Rick and Steve. You know what caught my eye?
No, what did?
That boulder in the back with a helmet on it.
Oh, right.
I posted it in chat. Maybe the next picture I got the arrows on it. I mean, it's
okay. I remember now.
It's a smaller version of the rocks that were at Nolan's Cross. Hi, Rebecca. But it's just strange, like we talked about, how was Nolan's Cross made? Were these roads made so heavy to carry these 10-ton boulders from the swamp area to make Nolan's Cross, or whoever was designing that? Like Chris says, it's the Bacon's Cross. Hello, Renee. How are you? Thanks for coming in.
Hi, Renee.
But you know what I mean, Judy? You see that rock in the back? It's a smaller version of the 10-ton boulders.
Right.
So that's what got me thinking. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
John, I've been wondering about those darn boulders all week, wondering how did they get them there?
Yep, because as far as we know, they were purposely put there because mathematically it all figures out. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right.
So if it mathematically figures all out and the angles and the distances and everything else, that not only the swamp was man-made, they have no doubt that Nolan's Cross was man-made. They never said, well, these rocks just came here by the glaciers, and when the glaciers pulled away, it made a perfect cross. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Jake Roberts said blunderbuss was a precursor to a shotgun, more rifle-like.
Yep, more rifle-like. Thanks, Susan Banner. The rock caught my eye, too. Maybe a marker. We'll see with the next picture. What do I got here? There's a piece of pottery that she picked up on the side of the pathway. Or what do they call it, Judy? The smaller pathway they're in. They're not in the big paved area, but they're on the pathway.
Road or pathway. They use both words.
Yep. I get real confused real fast. So those are pieces of pottery there. We got to get dates on that. There's a closer look of the little design. And of course, Laird will get that all dated up, pottery. That was found. And this is just a shot of the path going up. What a mess, but they say it's a path. I have no idea. We'll go with it. And you see off to the right, Judy, you see that little orange in the side of the bank?
Yes. Yep.
I guess they only set one fire, and that was the one spot, I guess.
That's what they said.
Renee says, always a piece of pottery. Yep. We had to go through that too, remember? No paper plates. They used, like Gatan said, they used birch dishes and wooden things so they would disintegrate and you would never know. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm learning something new. Every time I come on here, I learn something new.
Me too.
And this is what they also found at the end of the show. The little opening, and some were saying maybe it could be a root cellar. Of course, they got to put the treasure word in there. You know, could there be treasure in there? Of course, there could be treasure in there. Well, they didn't have no refrigerators at that time, Mary, so the root cellars was to keep things cool. There was no ice, no nothing. The root cellars to keep things cool. Or they would what? Dry things out, right, Judy? You dry out meat or you dry out things. You have dry goods.
Yes, my grandparents had one in their home.
That's what they did in the older days. So we got to find out more about this opening that they found. That's coming up next week. And also, we're finally going to get a date, Judy, on the cribbing underneath the pathway.
Good. Good.
Bill Burns, I think it's cabbage. Yeah, it could be anything, any kind of food. Penny and Bill, any kind of root cellar to keep anything cool. And then we got the last picture of this group. What is it here? Again, you know, I was looking at the rocks up on top. This was part of the other one, Judy.
Okay, it hasn't switched yet for me.
Alrighty. And
there.
So they're down about at least, 4 feet of the muck. So you go by Rick's shoulder to his knees, probably about a good 4 feet deep as far as depth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to look at them factors. You got to look at your background to see how far they are. So the muck on top of the road or pathway was about 4 feet. Yep, Jake, or pickle it. Yep, pickle it and bring it to sea. Yep. Very good, Jake. Thank you. All righty. Now, this shot came up. And I don't really remember seeing these pictures, Judy. This is pottery, they said, that they have found. But they didn't say it was found on the paved area or where they're digging now. So this is what they showed us. Now, do you remember what they said on this or no? I can't remember myself.
I don't remember the two bigger pieces.
Right. I mean, that would stick out like a sore thumb, that big gray curved piece on top and the thing that the people are calling a slice of pizza on the right.
Right.
And Michelle says if there are docking shops, there would be a prime location for storage of goods to be offloaded or loaded into ships. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Judy. What are you going to say?
No, I was just going to say that you'd think I would remember, we would remember seeing the one shaped like a triangle.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, guys, if I see it, you guys see it, and we try to figure out what the heck. You know what I mean? Yes, Mary. Yes. Yes, Scott. All right, what do I got?
Michelle says she doesn't remember them either.
No, we don't remember. I don't remember that, so I had to post it. We also got to get dates on the keg barrels, Judy.
Yes, right. That should be coming up.
Yep. Even if they said they can get chemical testing of the product that was in these keg barrels, that would be fantastic. But I don't know if they were stuck in the mud so long, like I told you, like in Egypt, it's a dry and arid. They can do those things, but I don't know if the keg barrels that have been stuck in the swamp for all these years would age. It'll tell us the age. Wood talks to us, but I don't know about the chemical of finding exactly what was inside these keg barrels. Julie?
Right. Sure. I hope they can, because it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, tie these barrels into the cribbing, into the pottery. We're getting that, the 1630s, the 1650s. Then all of a sudden we'll get dates way back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Renee says, yeah, lots of things on hold, need test results. Yep, but like Renee, they said in the promo that I'll post later tonight that I have, that Greg is going to tell us the date from under the pathway, which they couldn't build a road or the pathway, but I call it a foundation with a wood wharf on top. And this was underneath the pathway. So if they give us a date of whatever it is, we know that the small road paved way, not the big one up on top, we'll know the date right off the bat when that pathway was constructed. How long it took them, I have no idea, but at least it'll give us a date of the pathway. And there's another animation they gave us of the pathway going off to the right, and that's going towards the money pit. The bottom pathway that goes by that groove either goes to the eye or goes to Nolan's Cross. But I still don't see how people are walking on these rocks, even if they had blue clay in between or dirt in between. There has to be some kind of flatness to this stuff, or pure fill in between. Because I don't know how they drag sleds on there. I couldn't walk 10 feet on here without breaking my ankle.
Right.
So,
I agree.
So there had to be something. Everybody got on the sleds and the oxen pulled them. When the oxen broke their legs, they ate the oxen or something like this. You know what I mean? I have no idea.
No, I don't either. Anybody else have an idea?
Yeah. Yep. So much effort to build the pathway. Yep, Mary Louise. It's unbelievable. Imagine how much manpower it took to do this. And then time to do this. Even though the mainland wasn't inhabited that much. But then you got to feed all these people, sort of. Otherwise, what good are they if they're not fed? And sleep and everything else? I don't know. The logistics to plan and build that road system would be staggering. Yes, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And it dates back before the British. This is not done in 1720. This was done pre-1600s, early 1600s. Don Wagner. Yeah, he had a root cell in the back of my garage in the 80s. Yep. Yep. A lot of people had them to keep it cool. And then here, Aaron suggesting that this is a foundation to a house. So what do you guys think of this foundation to the house?
I don't know. I really don't.
And Renee says, maybe the material mixed with the rocks has long since rotted and washed away under the muck of the swamp. Well, it had to be dirt or something, because it can't be clay and everything, because they're not finding hardly any blue clay that, say, washed down. They're just finding dirt. But then again, there was no road. So when the tide came in and the tide came out, it worked as a sponge. The tide came in, and then when it pulled away, it just washed everything away. It took centuries for it to put on, what's that, about 4 foot of muck on top of this road. So you know what I mean, Judy?
Yeah, a lot of work underneath that and work to take it off too.
Jake Roberts says, all my worship says 1600s. Yeah. Everything is doing and pointing that way, Jake. Hello, Cam. Thanks for coming in. Aaron is the expert, but looks too close to shore for my liking. Yup, Tom. If it's close to shore, what can a rock wall do? Hold back. And what is it going to be holding back?
Okay.
I'm not sure, Cindy, if this is a foundation. Could it be a little dam, sort of, a little support wall? Can it be like a retaining wall? Because they would know if there's any kind of houses on there. Renee, I was excited about the stacked rocks feature. I knew there had to be a wall somewhere. Remember the French fort? Yup, on the Smith's Cove side. Yup. So you're saying that could be maybe a little outpost, an old foundation that was never mapped, etc., etc. Yup, and that could be a dike, a retaining wall, maybe a shed or shelter for people using the roadway. But all the wood is out rotted away. So maybe they can find some other hardware artifact in there, but maybe they can find something in that the deep hole, as long as we don't find any crazy things like lipstick knobs or doorknobs or but it could have been a mining cartwheel that they had down in the mining area, Judy. I go with that one so far.
Yeah, were they making those that early though? That type of wheel?
No. Not in the 1600s.
No, that's what I thought.
I mean, there was a lot of searchers and there was a lot of action going around in that area, for over that 225 plus years. So it's a lot of debris that they left, but I wish they would leave us something that would answer something. You know what I mean?
Right. Would be nice.
Good evening, Kevin. Thanks for coming in. You know what I mean? The place is so clean of artifacts that, oh my lordy 40, it's just driving me crazy. So I don't know if that's a foundation. I don't know. It could be part of a little shack. I have no idea. Artifacts will tell us some of the dates, and it's all we can go by. Yep, Mary, they didn't want to leave much. Yep, the casters, Scott. Yep, it looked too modern. Yep. Now, did I show this here? Let me see here. No, I'm getting lost again, Judy. Here's a closer look at the foundation. They're calling it a foundation. I'm calling the rock stoneway a foundation. With a wooden wharf on top of all these crazy rocks. And now they found the foundation because you can see the wharf is not layered. Maybe they said 2 layers, maybe. Or
right.
But a foundation, look at them stacked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stacked high. So this is definitely done by man. Definitely stacked up high. Could it be a dike? However, the water was coming in and out. Could be anything. Yup, Connie. They get frustrated also. Ready? And here they are doing their drill sequence. That was up a ways on the pathway, that stack, Mary Louise. I don't know how many feet, but now here is their choice drilling. Now look how close they are to C1, Judy. You see that, the canister there? Case on?
Yes, darn close.
And they're finding all kinds of tunnel debris at 80 or 90 feet. That C1 went down 170 feet. So they're only halfway that they're finding an unknown tunnel or support system. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, yeah. So where does it go?
So, and we got the dates on that wood. Well, C5, which the first piece was 1736 to 1813 at 87 feet down. The second piece was the one they want you to know is 1648 to 1694. So that's the dates they were hitting around there. Yeah, Billy, could be a rock wall for erosion. Yeah, especially that close to the swamp. You know what I mean? We see it now, but what about in the 1600s?
Right.
There was no road in front of the swamp, so that tide was coming in. The tide was coming out, even though the sea level was 5 to 6 feet lower way back when. It still washed in and still washed out. Could be, Connie. Could be. So we got to put everything out there. This is how they made me, Judy. It's like, okay, they say one thing, and I come up with like 10 different things. You know what I mean?
You do, John, every time.
Yeah, they made me this way. Why couldn't I just say, yep, it's a foundation. Okay, next. Nope. Now, don't forget, guys, next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we got Erin Helton, who's going to go into detail on her maps, treasure maps, and etc. in detail. So if you got any questions, put it in the post under her picture, Erin Helton. I will copy that because there's no way I'm going to see chat go by and try to get questions off of chat. It'll be off your posts to her because it's going to be a real exciting night. Hi, Scott Lonsberry on the YouTube side. Thanks for coming in. And this is the CD 2.5 where they're going in on the money pit side. Yep, Mary Ellen. And this is what they showed, the gold, shiny gold thing that it started it all in C1. That they couldn't find it after when they went down in there. They did find a couple of pieces of gold or whatever it was in the wall. And the diver went down, took out a piece of whatever the shiny yellow thing was and dropped it.
You think they'll go back there before the season ends?
They always go back to C1, Judy. You know why?
Why?
Shows the colored gold.
Oh, you're right.
It shows the color gold.
Right.
It's not showing mud. It's not showing rocks. It's not showing wood. It's showing gold. In this picture
Jake
here,
Jake Roberts says Aaron will blow everyone's mind. Looking forward to it.
in this picture here with the gold thing, it almost looks like a handle in a cup. Can you see that on this picture, or is it me?
I don't, John.
But they look for it tremendously, and we couldn't come up with it. Yes, Aaron must be excited that they found a tunnel heading to the west or the northwest at 90 feet below. Correctamundo. I mean, she only can say so much. She can't say anything about what's happening now, you guys, but she can give us a detail of what her research led her up to this, because the show only gives her 4 or 5 minutes. She can have all the time in the world Saturday night. She can be on here for 2 hours straight if she wants. Bill Burns. Not sure. I know they use a rock wall to let salt water in the dam and let the water evaporate, so you would get salt and cabbage from the farm. Store in a cool area, now sauerkraut. Yep, Bill, it makes sense to me. All this stuff you guys come up with, you members come up with, are fantastic. You know, it just makes sense. Everything makes sense. And here's the 4 gold pieces that they show, the pieces in the wall. In the beginning of the season, when Mike Huntley put his camera down in there, the top left is what they put in with the sewer cam many years ago, and they built C1 over that. You remember that, Judy, right?
Yes, yes.
The other 3 pictures are from Mike Huntley's water camera, and one of these 3, they tried to chip out the gold, and they dropped it. So that's all I got on that one from C1. A genie picture, Connie says. Yep. Who knows? Who knows? The lights make everything distorted. You know, you got to have big spotlights on these little cameras, high quality, because you can't see nothing down that far. It's just pitch black. Do we know the size of any of these gold images? No, Mary, we do not. This was in C1, and they always return to C1. Let's see what I got on my next picture here. And I think that's where the foundation is. Like at the Y, Judy, you see the pile of stones right in front of Dr. Spooner?
Yes.
That's only because they're layered up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 stones up.
Okay.
Or maybe in the middle, it could be a fire pit. Rocks all the way around the circle where that pail is and that dustpan is. Maybe it's just a fire pit in there. I have no idea. Yep, Mary, C1 it's a wild one. So we'll find out more about the foundation there, or whatever they want to call it. Here's where he thinks the paved area is going, to the eye of the swamp. Dr. Spooner said earlier in the year that when they were digging near the eye and all them boulders were coming up and all that blue clay was there, that he thought, and Aaron thought, that it was a blue clay mine. You remember that, Judy?
Yes, yes.
So if it was a blue clay mine, then they had to haul all that heavy, heavy blue clay mine material out of there for the money pit, for repairing ships or whatever. There I can see, engineering-wise, you would need a heavy, heavy support system on sleds with oxen to get it to where it has to go. Treasure, you don't need heavy-duty paved areas to haul treasure. My own personal opinion, but that's what I go with. What do you think, Jude?
Well, it would have to be a heck of a treasure anyway, Sean.
Yep.
Renee says, I think there is more there than meets the eye.
Yep. And here is a picture I loved, because I was looking beyond the eye to see if the pathway went to Nolan's Cross. So you see in the middle where the triangle is, right?
Yes.
And then you see the round spot. I guess that's what they're calling the eye. You see the round spot.
Yes.
So as far as this picture's saying, it is saying that something originated at the eye, left the eye, went down the pathway, either made a left to the money pit, lot 15, and then went out to sea. What do you guys think of this picture?
Well, I'll tell you, that makes sense.
Don, eye is an entrance and has been filled in with blue clay to plug it up and make it watertight. Yeah, even Marty said, if you guys remember, that they could dig a tunnel under the swamp now because that layer of clay is dry as a bone underneath the swamp. You guys remember that?
Yes.
But here, I didn't see an animation, of the eye, Judy. They showed us the pathway this way, the pathway that way, a little picture. But you see this thing, that it originates at the eye. It doesn't go past the eye towards Nolan's Cross, but it could have. They could have brought boulders across, because the pathway, they haven't really dug there yet to see if there's a pathway going from the eye to the boulders. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what do you members think of this with the blue clay mine, the eyes up on top, the pathway? I'm coming down towards my head over here. They either made a left and went to lot 15 with the kill, with the tar in the money pit, or they went straight down. Obviously, don't forget, there was no road. There was nothing in front of the swamp to offload blue clay or to repair ships or to hide a vast treasure. But if they were going to do all this pathway and hide, right, Judy?
Yeah, right.
And the water was down 6 feet. This would have been exposed for decades. Think about that. If the water was down 5 or 6 feet, especially the pathway going to the right, you see that pathway going to the right to lot 15 in the money pit?
Yes.
There's no water on there. That pathway would have been exposed forever. Not unless they buried it all with dirt from the tunnels.
Bill Burns says it looks like a farmer's rock wall. And she's right, it does.
And Susan, didn't they say the eye was a natural spring? Yes, it is a freshwater path. Maybe to get water to workers who are digging the money pit or tunnels. Yeah, they had to get fresh water. Yep. But what I'm saying is, what about the path that's on the island? Go from the eye, go down. Now turn my live shot, and it goes to the right, and that goes to lot 15 in the money pit. There's no water there. There's no swamp there. There's nothing there. The tide didn't go there. So if they were so concerned about hiding the stone pathway, why would they have a path of stones going off to the right that anybody can follow and sort of connect up to the so-called stone pathway? That's my question to you guys. What do you think?
Well, Bill Burns says no one makes a pathway to treasure.
Right. You want to hide it. You're not going to put directions on it. Okay, just follow this pathway to the yellow brick road and and dig here underneath the tackle box, because this is where all the money is, and this is the treasures and the Moderna and everything else. Not Moderna shots. I'm thinking Moderna. Oh my God. All the treasures are from the older times. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Yep, Cam says they use the material from the tunnels to make the roads. Yeah, but like people are saying, are you going to make a road to your treasure spot? You might as well just not even bury it. Just leave it on top of the island. Here it is. Take it. And this is what was bothering me with this picture is not the pathway on the side of the swamp that goes out to the ocean or the bay, Judy. It's this pathway going on the island up to lot 15 in the money pit.
Right. That is confusing.
Why would that be so exposed? Because it wouldn't be covered. The only way that pathway could have been covered is when they were digging the tunnels out. After they got done, they buried all this pathway with the material from the tunnels. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Don Wager says he wonders if that's what happened, if they hit it after they were done.
You know, okay, after they were done hauling everything in, another 1,000 men cover all this up with the dirt from the spoils at the tunnels we dug out, and nobody sees anything.
Yeah.
Robert, my thought on the Rock Road is that they used it to carry the treasure, and then when they dug out the money pit to cover the treasure, yeah, Tom Burns, if you need the support, building a road is the only option. Yep. To carry what? Something where? You got it. But it just threw me off of this one stone pathway going off to the right. You know what I mean, guys?
Yes, it's got us too.
And Connie, I get answers that it wasn't inhabited. The mainland wasn't inhabited that much. So they came to the island and did their things. There were not a lot of people, the Micmacs, and so on. So there was not a lot of people to see what was going on there, or paid attention, or cared. Who knows? Now let me see what picture number 9 is. Oh, they were just looking at that big, like a little root cellar on the bottom. And then here, Queston was saying that people from the Plymouth colony went to Oak Island. He tied in the people from the Plymouth colony, tied into Oak Island that they were there. That was a pretty good presentation. What do you think?
Yeah, it was. And it's possible.
Alrighty, and I think I got one more. One more, Judy. This is the older maps that were showing how Oak Island was shown a long time ago. This was in the war room. Marine. The blocking of the lagoon makes the swamp cover part of the pathway. But the part that branches off to lot 15, what happened to it? Well, that's what I was asking, Maureen. It's there. I guess that animation, I mean, is showing it. It's there. And here it is here. Nova Scotia, the Oak Island, Mahone Bay, the Lost Colonies. Hi, Scott. Thanks for coming in, Scott Dilly. Then they tied in FDR in the gang, and they were trying to recover a lost treasure of theirs. I guess they were saying, you know what I mean, Judy?
Yes. It's amazing the people that were involved, John.
Oh my God. And it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable that they would look for it. Otherwise, why even bother? If there was any kind of non-truth to this whole expedition, would these people even try? You know what I mean, Judy? I mean,
I agree, John. I can't see them doing it if they didn't truly believe there was something there.
Right. And it just seems very odd that they would, without specific truth to what they were looking for. Just too many circumstances, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And JC got it on the Facebook side. I think the treasure is with the Americans, maybe with Washington, D.C., but love how my Providence is changing history. You got that, JC. You got it.
Yes.
You got it. It's good for you guys up there. Again, looking at that big rock behind Aaron, thinking how they made the Nolan's Cross again, Judy, that keeps on creeping up in my mind. So when I see these pictures, because I remember Billy digging out all the big rocks, or trying to, on the eye, his excavator couldn't even pick up the rocks. That's how heavy it was. You remember?
Right, exactly. I'm hoping Erin will have more to say about the cross next week.
Yeah, we got to see how much she can say, though. She can't say a lot of detail, but she can say what she can. Bill Burns, I can't believe that if all these people there, pretty sure there would be some storytelling. Sure, there's some fabrication, but not when it involves all this money, time, effort, lifetime effort. They're all being Masons. It's just something. It's just something. It just seems too obvious that something is going on. Yep, Mary. Well, Aaron will give us the details. That's why they come on my group. When they get the okay, we don't just see a 2-minute or 3-minute snippet from TV. She actually does a full presentation for us with questions so we all understand what's going on. And that's what I like. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, and I think from what Jake says, we're in for a treat.
Yep, Maureen, and the Masons seem to believe something was still there to be found. That's why we're still here. And the wedges, dating long, long time ago, mining wedges for mining. Again, they're spraying, but I guess Laird told me they got extra protection underneath the screening so they're not blowing pieces of leather and pieces of bone through the bottom. So they did improve on finding artifacts on the wash table. I guess it's not enough to use the gold trowel machine, just not enough yet. Maybe this coming year, when they dig out the swamp on the lower end with the cofferdam, Judy.
Yes, okay.
They'll use the big gold machine that they put the material in that washes everything down and sifts everything out to find little pieces of artifacts. So I guess they'll crank that up in season 9. I hope we get season 9. You up, Tom?
For sure. For sure.
All righty. And there we go. Steve found some coconut fiber. Then again, I'm saying the island has been so ripped up. Are they sure on the locations of all this stuff that's been taken out of Smith's Cove and dumped over here and dumped over there that we don't know about? I know now the guys detail everything, what spoils went where, just like now they got piles. Well, this came out of OC1. This one came out of Gale. This one came out of H8. But I'm saying long time ago. You know what I mean, guys?
Right.
Oh, Diane, it was a natural blue clay deposit up there in the swamp and around Oak Island. Jake Roberts, Mason, saw a signpost in the form of a Royal Arch degree of Freemasonry. That's about all I can say. Thank you so much, Jake. Thank you so much. But we got to see, like the old timers. We know Lot 16 was a spoils pile. for certain people that dug there. They told them that, but who knows? Cam Dixon, it was not brought in. The blue clay mine is on Oak Island. Not a mine, but the blue clay deposit is on Oak Island. And I guess some member said, Judy, there's a lot of blue clay going up from Maine, a big thick layer of blue clay mine that goes all the way up.
Okay, I do remember someone saying that.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And I'm just saying, it's just a location. I mean, is this coconut fiber coming from a different area than where it's found? That's all I'm saying. You know, Judy?
Right. We know the fiber had to be brought in.
Yeah, there's no place around. And then they say, well, it can be packing material and things like that, but there's no coconut fiber in this area. Nowhere. The Caribbean,
None.
nothing. And with all the pirates coming up there and the shipping that was up there and the trade, just regular trade, Judy. I mean, just regular trade. It could have been in a box just of not dishes, but it could be anything. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Oh, and there I am. Let me see here. We showed that. We showed that. Show that. Alrighty. I'm going to give myself a plug here. How's everybody doing tonight? All right? You have a glass of wine, you have a little popcorn. What's going on? Tom Burns reminds me of an ancient archaeology in other countries. One historical story built over the top of another, and you find it when you dig it up. Yeah. One layer over another, over another. Yep. All the time that happens, Tom. That happens all the time. Now I want to show you guys, if you haven't seen it on the group, these is going to be available for my paid members on the YouTube. I got, I don't have any prices yet so far, so I just want to show you what the stuff is. We got a baseball cap. We got a wool hat. For the YouTube members, we're going to have some polo shirts. They're very good. 65% cotton, very warm. The other ones I had are, what is it, 100% something. I've frozen them. They're like a summer shirt. Good, Steve Arnold. How are you? Just showing you some swag that's happening for my group, for the people that support me. It just has a round circle on it, but that round circle they told me would just wash off or brush off. I just took it out of the box and took pictures. And this is embroidered. These are all threads. This is not cheap. This is all threaded the labeling. It's just not a stick-on label. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, I gotcha. It's not going anywhere.
Now, a lot of people, I mean, I like the black once in a while, but you know what? I think I'm going with the red full time. What do you guys think? Should I stick with red or should I stick with black if people like it? What's the favorite color for you guys?
I like the red, John, because it makes us feel happy.
Yep. Thank you, Jake. Like I said, I don't have any prices or anything like that. So we'll see what goes on that. And if you join different levels in my YouTube, there's 20, 30% off. The big one's 50% off, whatever price it is. It includes shipping, handling. So I got to figure that all yet. But I'm only figuring maybe 10 people might want them or something. So I'm not going crazy on this stuff. And but I got women sizes that are maybe cut different than guy sizes. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm lucky I can buy things and fit myself. I have no idea.
Hey, John, Scott Dilly says, will they be sent to us packed in coconut fiber?
Yes, you will have coconut fiber in your shirt. I love this group, I swear to God. Hi, Becky. But I'm just saying, on the YouTube side, don't forget to check that community channel out. The community channel is between me and you, from the soldier down to the commander to the grandmaster. And that's where we'll do this business. Nobody else can see it but me and you. That's one of the perks for joining. Even if you join the soldier at 75 cents a week, I mean, what are you going to do with 75 cents a week? After 3 months straight, you'll be able to buy this merchandise, but at 100%. But that qualifies you to buy this merchandise. I thank you guys for listening to me. Now back to Oak Island during that commercial. And also, you got to put that up there. I'm getting good in editor. Watch out, guys. I'm learning, but everything costs money. Editor costs money. Shirts cost money. Putting these programs on costs money. They all want money for their license. You just can't get this stuff. You have to pay them a license, a yearly license. And like BeLive, that'll be up in June. So I want to give you guys the best. You guys deserve the best. And that's what we do, Judy. You know what I mean?
Yep, you sure do, John.
You got to have...
John,
go ahead.
John Wagger says, add a little gold with the coconut fiber and I'm in.
Let me see here. I'm going to put the phone number up. If you guys want to call in and talk to me, Judy will pop off if somebody gets a call. If not, we'll stay on for a little bit more, and then we'll call it. Not unless you guys want to play trivia. That's up to you. Michelle, we got to get some of the people that have their points. You know, when we get close to 5,000, say at 3,500 or so, we'll announce who's closer to 3,000 or 3,500 points. Because when you reach 5,000 points, you get a free Quest of Oak Island membership mug. But I don't know. Michelle's keeping track of that. And don't forget, with Renee's project going on in our group, even I'm posting. At least those toys that I got for my cake and everything are a lot better than that picture of pizza and burnt toast I made with Shannon's cookie cutters. I'm sort of embarrassed, but if I can do that, you guys can do that. Renee's doing a great album for the group. And she invites you, any of you members, to put something up to share with your creations, inspired by the Oak Island mystery. Anything is welcome. So all you artists out there, painters, writers, bakers, poets, singers, etc., and even people like me, put your stuff out there. Let people see. She can't wait for your interpretations, inspired by the fellowship of the dig. And as always, let's keep our comments and observations positive and respectful. And don't forget, it's against the rules to try to sell anything here. It's not eBay. We are here to share and enjoy the diversity of the knowledge and its expression. And of course, to exchange ideas with each other. So, do you guys like my little model that I posted there, Judy?
Yes, that was darn good.
Unbelievable. So we got the number up if anybody wants to chime in.
I just want to remind them, John, that if they want to call in, they have to tell us on top first.
Right. Tell us on chat first so we know you want to call in, because I only can handle one call at a time. And obviously, Judy's on it right now. And, she'll pop off if we got a call coming in. And I don't know if you guys want to play a little trivia after. It's only 8:30. That's up to you guys. If we can get 10 people to play, you want to get some points for a mug, let that be known in chat. Yep, photos in art too. Yeah, Renee. Yep. And Cam Dixon, the golden jewels will come. There isn't a wood full lumber at 170 feet down for the heck of it. Erin will find our way to the treasure. She's an amazing map and clue finder. Yeah, I can't wait till Saturday night. I can't wait. So we got Judy with her update on the COVID transportation to Canada. We got Tom Burns, who won a member mug. Don't forget to send me your address so I can get that out. And of course, it's different for air travel than it is land travel. So we got all that down. And I hope I can get my other monitors working by Saturday. I have no idea. At all.
Just don't drive yourself crazy trying to do it, please.
I won't. I'll try a bunch of things. If we can just do this with the two monitors, and when she comes in live, and if your phone is working, I never know. We'll do the same format, do your synopsis to everybody. I will post Judy's synopsis to the group later on tonight so everybody can read it. But she does a great job. Guys, what we're going to have Judy write up once the season ends. We got to have her write up something.
Oh, boy.
We got to keep her going all summer, but I'm waiting.
You guys will have to come up with the ideas, though, John.
Yeah, we'll do a member vote on it, but I also love the World War II, the lost treasure of World War II down in the Pennsylvania, the Philippines. I love that show, but I haven't heard a peep on it. My sister channel, Quest of Treasure, everybody's over there. We got about 1,800 members on there. And I haven't heard a word on it.
I haven't either. No advertisements, anything.
Hello, Barbara. Thanks for coming in. Barbara Perry, another great supporter of me and my channel. I thank her so much. But like I said, pretty soon we're going to button it up, Judy.
Okay.
So let me take the phone number off here. Ready? And Judy, if you want to say your goodbyes, and then I'll be right behind you.
Okay. Everybody, I want to say thank you so much for the encouragement. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. And John, I thank you for allowing me to do that. And I will see everybody next week. And I want you all to stay safe, please.
Yep, Judy.
Good night.
Great synopsis. We'll see you Tuesday night, pre-show, 7:30, 7 o'clock pre-show this coming Tuesday. And I thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you very much, John.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, it was a great night. Like I said, this Tuesday night, we'll get some dates on that cribbing. Let's get some information on what's going on. And we'll go from there. We'll have a pre-show, 7 o'clock, usual on Tuesdays. And if anything else comes up new before that, I'll keep you posted. But don't forget, always go forward. You may get a setback, but don't let that bother you. Go forward. Believe in your dreams, no matter how old you are. Doesn't matter. Go for it if you can. And during these tough times, if you can't be mentally tough, please get help. There's a lot of help out there, and be on the positive trail. I want to thank everybody on the Facebook side. I want to thank Tammy, Renee, Maureen, Judy. I thank them so much for helping me out in this group. I thank them 100%. A lot of things go on behind the scenes that we need a lot of help in, and they're there for me, and I thank them. Okay, everybody. Be safe, be positive, and we'll see you Tuesday, pre-show. I thank you so much. Bye-bye.